In this video, we show you a whole bunch of free things that you can do on the Outer Banks in a day. Hey you guys! Thanks for joining us on another journey. Today, we're exploring the Outer Banks of North Carolina. If you're new to the channel, this is April.
Hi.
And I'm Wayne. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the journey.
In 1999, lighthouse move path was approximately a half a mile.
They moved the whole lighthouse? How the hell you do
In
that?
2014, these foundation stones were moved to protect this important piece of heritage from the encroaching sea. They now form this amphitheater.
Those rocks there.
Yeah.
That thing's huge, huh? It's way bigger than the other ones in Maine.
Yeah.
Even the one in Lubeck wasn't that big. This thing's double the size of everything we saw in Maine.
Triple the size of Squirrel Point.
Yeah, right? Hard above for the Maine lighthouses. Kind of bummed out about the COVID thing. You can't go up the lighthouse because of stupid COVID. Messing everything up everywhere.
Yep, it keeps hindering us.
Wanted to go up top. Would have been a gazillion stairs, but it would have been awesome.
Yeah.
What we doing, April?
We're on a ferry, Wayne. Ocracoke Island, Outer Banks, North Kakalaki.
First time on a ferry, isn't it, for you?
I think so. If I've ever been on before, I don't remember. Not on a car, on a boat. Accounts of horses on Ocracoke Island go back to the 1730s. They descended from domesticated Spanish horses, and they helped shape the island's history. They assisted U.S. life-saving service and U.S. Coast Guard patrols and rescues, and carried the Ocracoke Boy Scouts. Once free-ranging, the horses were corralled to protect them from automobile traffic in 1959. The National Park Service has cared for the herd since the early 1960s. They are often called banker ponies due to their Outer Banks range and their small size.
Well, we didn't get to see much of them.
Yep.
Well, that's okay.
Howdy.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. Nice camera.
Thank you. What you painting?
Just this scene here.
Nice.
Yeah, the ponies. I think. Did you see any down there?
Yeah, we saw some down there. We were kind of hoping this would go in a circle.
Much better than our paintings.
Yeah, way better than my painting.
let's not quantify. Just enjoy what you're doing.
Right, that's true.
My stick figures don't even look good.
When people used to say that to me about stick figures, I said, "Have you been to a museum of contemporary art? It's all stick figures.
It's true.
They don't have sort of realism anymore. You know, modern art. If you can't paint a stick figure,
Yeah,
you're a real artist.
Yeah, that's true.
You can help me pay my student loans.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
If
cool.
you enjoy it, do it. If you don't, do something else. God bless you.
Yeah. We're at the Ocracoke. Wait, Okra?
Ocracoke.
We're at the Ocracoke.
Ocracoke.
We're at the Ocracoke Lighthouse. If you RVer and you want a cool place to come spend the weekend, come check this island out. You can take the ferry ride. It's about an hour ride out and an hour ride back, so a little bit of a haul. But you can take your RV onto the island and do some camping. What you think about the lighthouse, April?
I like lighthouses.
I know lighthouses are cool.
Each one is unique and has its own character.
1823.
The first lighthouse at Ocracoke Inlet was the 1798 Shell Castle Rock Lighthouse located on an island in the inlet. But in that location, the lighthouse was often inoperative when needed most. So in 1823, it was replaced by this one, which is the nation's second oldest still in use.
Wow.
Bet you didn't know that. This would be the lighthouse keeper's home, but now it's a private residence.
It's free to ride the ferry, but it takes about an hour each way. It takes you to the awesome island of Okracoke.
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 Wait.
Yeah, you got it right.
You can take the free ferry to the island of Ocracoke. It takes about an hour ride each way, plus sitting in line, so it could take up to 2 hours to just get on
Or
and
more.
over there, yeah.
Depending on when you hit the line.
But the island's awesome. It's got lots of little restaurants and bars on it. It's got some places you can probably rent. It's got, you can even take your RV over there and go RV camping.
Fishing and beach and
Lots to do.
yeah.
It's still primitive. I like that. It's
Yes.
not all developed with condos and stuff.
Yes.
So it's a good place to spend a weekend. I'd like to come back and check it out.
Definitely. Bodie Lighthouse.
But it's spelled Bodie.
Yeah.
It's really cool, even if it is foggy.
The fog gives it a cool element, I think.
Yeah. During normal times without COVID, you can actually walk up to the top. But can't do it now. Look at the lighthouse.
That's awesome.
That is cool. You would think it's early in the morning, but it's like 4:30 in the afternoon. Can't even hardly see the lighthouse.
It's kind of like San Francisco, you know,
Yeah.
fog in the afternoon. With some little bits of planning here and there, you know.
We'll
it's-
try that planning thing next time.
No, seriously. Like, we can fly by the seat of our pants to
The
most
prob-
degree.
But keep in mind, we didn't even plan on coming to the Outer Banks.
I know.
We just said, hey, you know what? Let's just go to the Outer Banks because we're driving across the country.
I know.
It's only 4 hours out of the way.
You have a problem with that?
No. How we roll.
It was worth it.
It was
But
worth
we have run into a couple of hiccups along this whole trip.
Yeah. What's the name of this lighthouse?
The Roanoke Marshes Lighthouse.
This one's tiny. I don't think I've ever seen a lighthouse like this before.
Yeah, it's almost like a house with a light on top.
Yeah, it's a lighthouse. it's an actual lighthouse. We got our Airbnb for tonight. Where are we at, April?
Outer Banks, North Carolina. Woohoo!
And how much did we pay for our Airbnb tonight?
Just under 100.
Which is good because we're on Outer Banks.
And we're a quarter mile from the
The beach.
beach.
Little bathroom looks like. Yep, definitely not fancy. Oops. Whoa, camera's freaking out. Not fancy, but it'll get the job done.
We went for a walk.
Oh.
It was so romantic.
It was amazing. It's been a long time since I've been on a beach, and there was no one on the beach. There wasn't any houses in sight. just sand dunes and waves
And sea oats.
and lots of rain.
And a little crab.
Oh
I
yeah,
saw a little crab.
little fiddler crab.
That's what it's called?
Yep. We use them as bait.
Oh, you use them for bait when you fish?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, huh?
See the cart above for the fishing trip. I wouldn't even say it's a quarter mile. It's like literally we're just.
Well, maybe by the time that we
Well,
trudge through the
once you
sand
trudge
dunes.
through the sand dunes and all that, it probably is a quarter mile to the actual sand. But it's not all built up out here. It's part of the national park, and so it's not all built up with high rises, and it's nice. It's not a fancy place, but man, I'll tell you what, it brought me back to my childhood. I grew up, my second place as an adult, 18, living on my own, wanting to surf every day. Lived on 9th Avenue North and Jack's Beach. That was literally 2 blocks from the ocean with all the other poor kids. Now it's full of rich people and can't even afford to go visit the place.
Did you have a roommate then?
Yeah, Izzy.
He helped pay the bills?
Except when he ate my groceries. I do miss the beach though.
Oh, hell yeah. I love the mountains, but I am and will always be a beach gal. Always.
Yep.
I love the beach.
We want to thank you guys for watching our video all the way to the end. If you would, hit that subscribe button, share it with a friend, and like always, thank you for living life.